We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, Episode 9, titled Desire is All You Need. The last time we were off with Yellowstone was back in January of 2023. So almost 2 years later, Part 2 has come out, and Taylor Sheridan has written every episode of the 5th season, which is the 5th season is the final season of Yellowstone. And I will say I am not a fan of how this Part 2 Episode 9 started off. There are going to be spoilers in this review, and you are going to get my actual how I feel about how everything went on. This episode was close to about 65 minutes long, and we start off with, we see that John Dutton is dead, evidently by suicide, but we know that's not the case because a character that's this strong on television, the strongest character, and maybe the top 10 or top 20 of characters on TV of all time, played by a resounding award-winning actor in Kevin Costner, does not go off and kill themselves, especially off screen. I absolutely don't like the way Taylor Sheridan wrote this episode. He does need to pull back a little bit because he has so many shows on television right now. It's so hard to keep up with. It's between him and Ryan Murphy. It's just like the conglomeration of the Sheridan Murphy universe is happening, and it's absolutely crazy right now. You see Beth know that it was Jamie behind it all. Of course it was Jamie because he hired that kind of bimbo or whatever you want to call behind everything that's pulling the strings. Of course, bimbo is not my words, it's Beth's words. And not only that, we see the aspect of, okay, the what's going on, what's happening. And of course, we know that John Dutton is killed, and we don't even get to see the last appearance of Kevin Costner on Yellowstone for Part 2. Killed off screen, that's it. Let's move on. The back and forth that Taylor Sheridan and Kevin Costner have in real life, that's their doing, that's their problem. But for the fans, you could have done a better service to the character of John Dutton, the matriarch of the Dutton family, the cornerstone of Yellowstone, and the focus of this season and his kids. And he was the reason I watched it. I'm pretty sure everyone else watched it. And the character has been through some thick and thin moments, but then, I mean, episode 8 of season 5 was the last time we saw this character, John Dutton, and it's like, oh, okay, we're just going to remember him by that. You could have given him a ride off into the sunset moment where he's like, I, not want to be governor anymore of Montana. I'm done. Let me just retire. And he just rides off. And that's it. You could have done that. You don't have to kill a character off every single time that it's not really done well. It's lazy writing in my eyes. The character, the writer, the director doesn't know what to do or how to move the story along. With that, we then will see what Beth will do for revenge because she's going to go after Jamie, and we absolutely know that. We then see subplots where we see Rip in Texas at the 4-6's ranch doing everything with the cattle. We see Jimmy. Not only that, we see Jamie coping with the death of his father, and this woman who I really don't know the name of her. I really could give two shits about who she is. Of course, yes, she is a main character right now in the show because she's the one pulling the strings, but we know she's going to get her due at the end of it all. And it's like, what will that be? For what this is, it's still a simple, once again, Yellowstone story and episode. Very slow going. We see the cattle, we see the scenery. That's what it is. We get some tit for tat justifications, sarcasm, dialogue. That's it. We see the emotion at the end when Rip comes home, and we see Beth fall into his arms and just literally cries. Beth is a badass, we know that, but in heart, she is a softie because she just lets everything out to Rip, and it's really, really good. Give me a Rip and Beth spinoff. Give me a Rip spinoff TV show. I want to see that. Rip is a badass. The entire aspect of the Dutton family is a badass. And not only that, we see things happening in the construct of, okay, you have Beth, you have Jamie, and then you have aspects of Casey, where Casey now is going to be a main focal point. And Casey's going to do a lot of things that I'm sure he wouldn't want to do, but he's going to avenge his father's death. Now, I will say this show has been great since the beginning, but you really have to end this series on a high note. and really get after the main people that really did kill John Dutton. Wasn't a suicide. We know that. But to kill the character off screen, I mean, come on. You could have done a little bit better. Could have seen John Dutton one more time, and that was it. I understand the whole aspect of what was going on in real life. I put that aside. The way the character was written off, did not like it. It could have been better. But it's going to be interesting to see how a actor of such stature and recognition who played a main part in this series for 5 seasons will affect the show moving forward. Will people watch it until the end? Will people turn it off? I'm pretty sure when people found out that that's how they got rid of John Dutton, people turned it off, because you know that's not how a character like that does himself in. And then it's like, okay, this part 2 is 6 episodes long. It runs from November 10th, 2024 to December 15th, 2024. So there are talks of a sequel spin-off called The Madison, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Not too sure how that is. It's evidently about a New York family who moves to Montana, but then also we get Yellowstone characters showing up in that show as well. I don't know what's going on, what they're doing. I want to say the best season of Yellowstone was season 3. But, you know, hey, that's my opinion. Let's see what's going to happen, because breaking up season 5 into 2 parts, I don't know if it was a good idea. You could have gotten everything done. And when one creator and writer is doing everything and writing every single episode, I do commend that. That's a great thing to do. But if you get lost in translation, if you write a show and you create it, but then you're doing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other shows, and you lose track and you don't have that mentality to balance it out, and you write off a character that was a strong character the way you did, I don't agree with that at all. Like, it's crazy to see how many Taylor Sheridan shows are happening. And like the fourth, like I said at the beginning, between Taylor Sheridan and Ryan Murphy, it's like, it's too much. It's just really crazy. But for what part 2 had, it was more so, again, like I stated, slow going, drawn out. When Beth comes on screen, she powers the screen. Now you see her, and then Casey, and then Jamie's just an asshole because, you know, he just wanted what he wanted. But now evidently how the bimbo said it, he's the lion now and he wants to take over. Yeah, this isn't the Lion King. This isn't Macbeth. We're going to see what's going to happen now in the rest of this part 2 series. 6 episodes. It's going to go by really fast, and you absolutely know that. But hopefully we get a good ending, and it's not open-ended where we think, oh, we're going to see these characters again. We might see these characters again. Is it, you know, given that we are, we don't know, but we have to wait and see to find out. Like I said, great start to part 2, season 5, episode 9, but could have done a better way to get rid of John Dutton, especially, like I said, when he's the main focal point. Not excited and wasn't happy the way they did it. I was literally trying to figure it out, and after I watched it, I was like sitting there like, okay, letting it sink in, because you have to let a movie or a TV show, an episode sink in before you give your review like I'm giving right now. So like I said, this part 2 of season 5 of Yellowstone is 6 episodes, runs from November 10th, 2024 to December 15th, 2024. Let's see what happens, and let's have some fun with these episodic weekly reviews that I'm going to give you my review and my thoughts about it. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think could have been done differently? Do you think that it was the right way to get rid of John Dutton? What do you think could have been done differently? How would you have written the episode if John Dutton was in? Would you have shown Kevin Costner one more time? And do you think Beth will get her revenge? And do you think all the Duttons will get their revenge? Who do you think will meet their demise and end? And who do you think will be the matriarch of the Dutton family now moving forward and with everything that is going on, even though now at the end we know who the executor and the trustee is in the Dutton family? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thank you so much for tuning into my review. I'll see you all in the next review video, and be sure you tune in next week to my season 5 episode 10 review of Yellowstone.